This is how I have my valve set up. It's going to mount like this, and I operate it, from right up here with my right hand. I'm gonna get a bracket, make me something to go from here and straight up, where I can bolt around this like so, and here, and hold this onto that, so it'll be held like that. But I found out this is the only way that you can get the sound of an original train horn. I'll play it later in the video and show you the difference. But I've tried everything else and I didn't know, but it makes sense. The horns go off at different air pressures, so by regulating this slowly you can change the sound. And now that I got that hooked up, I'm real happy with it. Before that, I wasn't too happy. All I had was just a loud horn. But now I got the train sound. And here, I'll show you how I got it hooked up. This is a 2012 Toyota Tundra. Start off with it, come right off my battery. Got my fuse link. I put a 20 amp fuse in it. Let's see, I believe it's a 20, no, sorry, that's a 30 amp. I think it'd run on a 20, but I put a 30 in there, give it a little extra room. And then here's my ground. Okay, I ran that to the back. I'll show you how I've got it. Now here, you see my horns right there. You got 5. Try to get where you get a good look at it. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 bugles. And I understand these are the k5la series. Got an excuse of trash in the back of it. I've got a lot of stuff in there. Okay, now we got the box open. Here's what it all looks like. Alright. First of all, I've got a 12-gallon tank. I bought that over the internet. I think I paid, it was Amazon.com, and I paid, I think it was about $89 for it. Then I got me a compressor here that hooks, as you can see, right into the end of it, of the tank. Now here's the setup that I had at first. It was it's just a simple quick open solenoid, and that, all it did was give me a sudden blast of air, and come to find out that's why I couldn't get the sound of the train horn. All I got was just a one-tone blast. Later I figured that out. Okay, here's my pressure switch. Got my power coming in from my battery up to here. Goes over to a switch here, which I have control from underneath to turn it on or off. And here is the pressure regulator for my air for the horn itself. I run it at about about 65 to 70 pounds. And this one is the pressure in the tank. I run it at about 135, anywhere between 135 and 150. Right now it shuts off at 135, comes back on at 120. Here's the pop off, in case something went wrong and it pumped up too high. Anytime you install a tank, the federal law requires somewhere on that tank it is stamped the maximum pressure to prevent an explosion. So no matter what size tank you use, if you look on there, you will find that this one is turns out to be, it says 150, but I'm running up to 165 air pressure because there is a safety of about 300%. So I'm good on that 15 extra pounds. Here's the way I've got it set up. This tube goes straight to my horns, which are underneath the toolbox here. This one here comes off, which is a regulated to lower pressure, goes into my inside of the truck. It ran down here. This is between the toolbox and the bed of the truck. See these two. This one here goes to the valve that I showed earlier at the beginning of the video, and it comes back on this one, which ties into a T, and it goes down to the horns. So either way, I can use the one switch for a sudden blast, or I can use the one that gives me different tones in the train horn. And now this is something else that I added. I thought it was kind of neat. I paid like $13 for it. This is a blue wire here, that's the antenna. And it comes out back here. This is the antenna for it. And what that is, it's a remote. I have fun when I'm in a restaurant. If the right person comes by, I give it a blast. I don't go out to hurt anybody or hurt anybody's ears or scare them, heart attacks, none of that business, but I do have fun with it, you know. I just don't do it where anybody will get hurt. But it gets some looks. Someone will look back, wonder where the hell that came from. Nobody in the vehicle. The toolbox I bought at Tractor Supply was, I think it was close to $200 I gave for it. But what I'm going to do, all it is that holds the toolbox down is what they call a J. A J hook is shaped like the letter J, and it hooks up underneath this. But to go a little farther, I'm going to drill me a few holes and get me some steel cable and go back to these hooks like this one here. Let's see, that come with the truck. They're up there. I will tie both sides of that and make it a hell of a lot harder for someone to steal the box and everything. But no, I'm really happy with the sound of it now, and I've been working on this thing for some time since I oh, by the way, I've got 1/2 inch hose here. I found out, don't waste your time putting 1/2 inch. I've tried 1/4 inch, 3/8, and 1/2 inch hose, and it works the best on these horns. If I use 3/8 inch hose, it gets all the air that it needs. And then my next move is going to be to get me one of these full size, I don't know, they're about 4 feet, maybe a little taller, these oxygen and acetylene cutting rigs. I'm going to get me one of those oxygen bottles, and I'm going to lay it right in here in the bed and mount it to where it can't roll around. And I'm going to come up through the bottom here, do away with the pump, and put a regulator on it, and keep it with a regulator to keep air in its tank at all times. And I don't know how much blast I can get out of that, but they come with 2,000 pounds of pressure, and it's a big bottle. It's every bit of 12 to 15 gallon bottles, so that should give me all the air I need to do a lot of tooting around, and all I have to do is just take it back and get it, swap it for another one. It's not all that expensive, but I might use something like nitrogen or hydrogen instead of oxygen. Might even be cheaper, but I really like it. I'm proud of it. I was getting disappointed because like I said, I tried everything, couldn't get that right sound, but now I got it. And I'll give you an example.